With establishing these 5 parts, we took Bastiaan's sales team from 30K a month to 100K a month in just 90 days. So that's what I'll be showing you today. Really quickly, this is me. My name is Menno Wieringa. In the past 4 years, I've scaled 3 different online businesses to $1 million a year. For example, this one, which we took from 0 to over 2 million a year in 9 months. Or for example, this one, a B2B consulting agency, which we scaled basically to 200K a month in 90 days. Now, currently, I'm keeping myself busy with helping online entrepreneurs scale their business, and I'm documenting the insights for you here on the internet so that you can grow together with my clients. Okay, so that's enough about me. Let's talk about Bastiaan's sales team, which we took from 30K a month to 100K a month in just 4 steps. We more than tripled his business in 90 days. And one of the 4 steps that we took in transforming his complete business actually was his sales team. So what we'll be diving into today is actually what we specifically did to his sales team to improve results. So I broke it down into 5 parts for you, which we'll be going over today. Now, part 1 is a big cleanup. As soon as we dove into the sales team of Bastiaan, we saw that they were not performing. So we realized that we needed new sales reps. So we threw out the sales team and started building a new good one. Okay, so let me elaborate on this one. When you have a sales team that's underperforming, you can do 2 things. Actually, with every sales rep that's underperforming, you can do 2 things. You can either train them to get them to perform, or you can throw them out and replace them, right? Now, the reason why we chose to actually replace the whole team is because there was already a big fault inside of the culture and vision part, which I'll be going over later. But the big thing is that the mindset and the frame from which the sales reps were working inside of the business of Bastiaan led to them not performing. And it was because they came into the business with certain expectations and in a certain culture, it was very hard to make that switch and switch the whole culture and everything. Like for the people, it would feel like they were getting into a different company. And that whole transition, because it's so rigorous, it's very hard to make that transition with the old people. And they were not performing. So we were like, the easiest thing to do there is to throw them out, and then we start building a new one. And the first part we needed to do was obviously then recruit new people. And in order to attract the right people, what we did was we focused on these 2 things, right? So I just touched upon this a second ago, and the vision and culture is very important. And you hear a lot of people talk about vision and culture and that you need that inside of your business. But let me explain to you why it's so important. If the way of communicating in your business is not coherent and not everybody is on the same page in that instance, people are not going to communicate well. They're not going to be as motivated. Some people are going to be slacking while other people are going to be going really hard, and that's just going to mess up the whole business basically. And your sales team will also not feel like they're actually a team accomplishing anything. So that's what you need the vision for. You build out the vision so that everybody in the team and people also who want to join your team are aligned and are all working towards the same end goal. And the culture is like you can see, like culture is like a very vague term, and people don't really know what it means. So I just put like 5 words around it, which makes it more concrete. So it's about like the values, the attitude that people have, like the way they communicate and everything, their beliefs. So like, what do you believe? The behavior and the goals of the people as well. You want to, like I said, you want to have this aligned in order to attract the right people, but also to have them perform well. So that's basically what we focused on first. We set that in place. And then the next thing is we needed constant applicant flow. Now, it's basically like testing ads. So let me dive into this real quick. So why do you need constant applicant flow? For a sales team to perform really well, you need to find like the diamonds, right? The real good sales reps. So you need to find the right people. And in order to find the right people, you just got to dig through a shit ton of people first. Okay, so can I actually move my face? Wow, it's tripping. Okay, let me put it here. That's nicer. Okay, so basically, the reason why I want this is that you need people coming through. It's like testing ads. Okay, so if I'm gonna make one creative for your ad to test it, there's like a very big chance it won't really work. So you test multiple creatives ads at a time, and then one of them will work. Even if you're really good and you know exactly how it should be, still some will work, some won't work. So you need to push volume through, right? And also there's like more reasons why you want constant applicant flow. How does that work? Okay, yeah. So when people do not perform, you want to be able to replace them quickly. If it takes your business like a couple of days or even a week or 2 weeks to replace someone when they don't perform, or when somebody decides not to work with you anymore, or their mother gets sick, or they get sick, or anything happens, you need to be able to replace that person like in an instance. You need to have a list of people who are already qualified, which you can call, and it needs to be multiple people which can start tomorrow, okay, and who really want to work for your business and are already in the right mindset. They know your business, you have talked to them, and they are qualified. Because you need to be quick, okay? Money loves speed. You have probably heard this before. Like, this is one of the biggest mantras I stand by. Money loves speed. So it cannot take your business a couple of days to replace sales reps, okay? There's no way. So you need a constant applicant flow in order to be able to replace people when they don't perform. And when people do perform in your sales team, you can probably scale up, right? If you have a very good sales team and everybody's performing like very high level, you can just push leads through, they will close them, you will make money, and that's how you scale. And if you scale enough, you will eventually need more salespeople, which you have because you have the constant applicant flow. Okay, so that's why we work on that, and that's what I would do for you if the same thing, right? So part three, onboarding. It's still like it's all very coherent. So you can notice how the first part like is intertwined with the second part, and the second part is now intertwined with part three, which is onboarding. So you need an onboarding process like this. This is a fully automated onboarding process which people can go through in about 1 or 2 days. So what you do, and oh, by the way, this is not like from my client or anything. I just made an example because I can obviously not share like the inside information of the company. But this is what they actually look like. This is what ours look like as well for the companies I've built. It looks like somewhat like this always. So this is like one space where you put your people, the new person for your sales team, you put them inside of this, and they will get everything. Okay, everything. With 1 or 2 days, they know your culture, they know what's expected from them, they know what they can expect from you, they know the offer inside out, they know the systems they work with, they know how to report, they know what you want them to report, they have gone through the training system, they have rehearsed the script, they know everything, and they're actually ready to go within 1 or 2 days. Okay, and like everything needs to be in here. So once again, money loves speed. You cannot take 1 week or even 1 or 2 days one-on-one onboarding your people, okay? Because like maybe you can do it right now if you're small, but if you're gonna scale, you need to have this like systems like these in place. Without this, you cannot build a real business, okay? So this is a very important thing we did, and the way you structure this also very important, because after going through this determines how they view the job, how they view the business, and their whole attitude. Okay, so if you like make sure they're sharp and they're ready to go, and they have they know that there are very high expectations from them. After going through this in 1 or 2 days, they'll come back to you in the first meeting and they'll be hyped up. They'll be like they have done everything, they're prepared, and they're actually ready to go, right? So that's very important. You set some standards here. Next thing is part four. So part four, training and management. All right. So in order to make your people perform, you can do it kind of in two ways, right? You have the management part of things and you have the training part of things. And I always try to divide it in order to make it easier for business owners to understand. So training is about the actual sales calls themselves. So it's about increasing performance, increasing KPIs of the sales team by focusing on the quality of their sales skills. All right. And the management part is increasing KPIs and increasing performance by hyping them up, making sure they're always motivated, making sure they're on top of their game, that they're not drifting, that they're not slacking. Like if your sales team is going to parties 3 times a week, they'll definitely perform less than the business who has a culture of sales team that doesn't do anything in the weekends but read books work on themselves, review calls, and even follow up on leads, right? So it's that difference. And that's all in the management part and the culture part of your business. So what we do in terms of training is we do daily training. Okay, always, every single company I'm involved with that has a sales team, we do daily training. And there's one thing that's very important here. So you only give 1 point of improvement per closer at a time. Now I just wanted to touch upon this one because I cannot for this video dive into the actual like training routine and what's important, how to train your sales reps, etc. But this one thing will help you out a lot. If you have a closer and you review a call with them, or your sales manager reviews a call with them, and they touch upon like 8 different points that they can improve on, it's like it's not going to happen. They're not going to improve, or they maybe like they will improve, but not as effectively as if you would only give 1 point of improvement per closer at a time until that singular point of improvement is mastered, and then you get on to the next one. So, for example, the your closer is not really good at setting the stage. Okay, so then you're just going to rehearse that, do it over and over and over again. They're going to do it, they're going to record themselves, watch it back, take notes, do it again, do it again, do it again, until they master that, right? Then they bring it into practice with the leads. You look at it again with everybody, with the rest of the sales team, or just the sales manager, or maybe you as a business owner. And then if it's mastered, then you get on to the next point. You don't do 8 of these things at a time, right? Then next is KPIs and responsibility. You want your people to be on edge, like especially sales is such a competitive space, and you want A players there who are always on edge and they know they need to perform at all times. Like salespeople can never be comfortable. Okay, if your salespeople are comfortable with their life, with the position they are in, personally, I always immediately throw them out, because I want my salespeople to be on edge and be uncomfortable, because that's where they are growing, where they're increasing their performance. So KPIs and responsibility. What you want to do is every single person has like 1 or 2 or 3 important KPIs for themselves that only they influence. So like they have direct influence on the KPI, and you just measure them by that, and they know that they are going to be judged upon that KPI. So the only thing they can do is, from the point they wake up till they go to bed, is do everything in their power in order to improve on that KPI. And that just what it also allows you to do, by the way, is you as a business owner, or as a sales manager, or your sales manager, whatever, whoever is responsible for the whole department, has a clear overview of how everybody is performing at all times. So you need a system in place which measures this stuff. You need your data scheme in place to always be on top of KPIs and responsibility. Okay. Then the other thing we do in terms of managing the sales team is we do a beginning of the day and end of the day reports. Now, these are just some examples of the questions we ask. So at the beginning of the day, every sales rep sends a message like you see here on the left. I don't know if you see my cursor, but everybody sends a message like this in either WhatsApp channel, Slack channel, wherever you communicate, right? These are in WhatsApp. So they report how many calls they have today, how many follow-ups, how they are feeling, what they are going to do to improve themselves, and how much cash they will collect today. This gives you, as a manager, sales manager, a business owner, insight into what's going on with your sales team, and you know like how they're doing, how they're performing. You just get like these updates. But the more important factor here is that they are confronted every single day with what they have to do to improve. So, for example, the question of what I'm working on today to improve myself, like this makes them think every single day, okay, how do I get a little bit better? How do I get a little bit better? And over time, like in the course of a couple of months, this this just makes sure that the results of your whole sales team are skyrocketing, right? And then the end of the day is really about, like, throughout the day, they know they are going to need to send that end of the day report to the manager, the business owner, and the other sales reps. Everybody's going to see it, and they know they're going to have to send this end of the day report. So they better make sure that they collect more cash, that they actually close more people, that they review their calls, that they reflect upon themselves. So this just keeps everybody in check and motivated. So that's pretty much it. Part 5, the last part, is optimizing the sales process. So the last thing we did is we built out the whole sales process. I see so many entrepreneurs and their sales process literally it's like the only thing that's required from the sales team is that they come to the call and they try to close it, and that's it. Maybe you already send a message in the morning like, hey, are you going to be on the call, blah 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 blah, or you send some more content or whatever, or maybe you have like a follow-up system in place. But these are the sales processes that we actually built. So per funnel, so per like the lead source, it differs because you actually optimize them based on the type of lead, and based on what's coming in, right? So a lead from a paid media funnel is different than the direct funnel or the organic funnel or the LinkedIn leads or the website leads. So they're all different. And in order to optimize the whole process of like the funnel itself as well as the sales process, so after the marketing part, you want to tailor that to the specific type of leads. So that's why we build out these. It's really hard for me right now to like in 2-3 minutes explain to you how this is done. But where you can start is by mapping out what like all the steps that you take and all the touch points that you have with your leads before they're coming on a sales call and after they're coming on a sales call. Just make sure you document all the current touch points you have, and then review it. Like, think to yourself, if you have that many touch points, is that enough to actually get warm leads on calls? Is this enough in terms of follow-ups? Are you following up enough if they said no, if they needed to think about it, if they needed to discuss it with someone? Like, review it for yourself, think to yourself, because you have this marketing knowledge, you have some sales knowledge, and you can apply it, but you can better apply it if you have clearly mapped out sales processes like this. Okay, so that's what I advise you to start with. If you need more help on that, just send me a DM. I'll gladly help you out, right? So that's the sales process, and those are actually all the steps we took. Those are the first couple of things that we implemented within the first 90 days. We're currently working on further scaling Bastiaan's business, but these are pretty much all the things that we implemented in order to get him from 30K a month to 100K a month, right? Yeah, so that's what it says here, in 90 days. So that's pretty much it. Now, I would really appreciate it if you just share this free knowledge and free value with your entrepreneur friends or sales manager or your team or anybody who can learn from this and grow, so that we can all grow together. And if you are ready to do the same thing and you want to actually execute on this whole game plan or other parts of your business with me or with someone from my team, just make sure to send me a DM on either Instagram, menno.wieringa, or on LinkedIn, Menno Wieringa, right? That's pretty much it. Make sure to like, comment down below, by the way, what other parts of the business you're currently struggling with, what your bottleneck is, and I'll make a video about that as well. All right, that's it. Ciao.